I couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old, and I was walking across the green with my father, and it was the evening, and I said I wanted to go up there, pointing up to where the Homans family were then living. And my father said, "No, you don't want to go up there."
Just like that?
Just like that.
No explanation?
No explanation. I didn't go up. So that's my earliest recollection of you and your family. I was forbidden, and like all forbidden things, I was attracted to it.
Like the cod, the number of proper Bostonians is dwindling. At the beginning of the century, when Harriet Ropes was born, prominent Yankee families were not only prolific, they also wielded the financial power in Boston. When Harriet Ropes married a Cabot, she was guaranteed not only a place in Boston society, but in New England. The Boston Mrs. Cabot grew up in was filled with dinner parties, trips to Europe, Harvard football games, and the much-awaited coming-out parties. Reading from her diary, written when she was 16 years old, Mrs. Cabot recalls a life of privilege and class. It was an era when meeting and greeting became an art form.
The purpose of coming out was to introduce you to society as such, and I think it's also to give you some experience. In those days, you didn't go and work somewhere, so it gave you something to do. I think also the families could show off their daughters. It was a marriage mart.
The Boston Mrs. Cabot remembers meant a leisurely lunch at Lockover's. Upstairs, of course, women weren't allowed anywhere else. And snow trains to the mountains, with skiing at her family's camp in the Adirondacks. This is the Boston 86-year-old Mrs. Cabot was a part of.
Well, we took the subway in from Cambridge to the North Station, and at least I did, lugging skis. And then you got on this very overheated train.